May the power protect you.
It's morphin' time.
Do it better than anybody you ever seen. Do it. No one man should have all that. No one man should have.
Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide.
Dark side.
Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide.
Everyone, welcome back to JerseyBoyReviews and the villains we trust. My name is Julian, I am your host, and today we have a movie review. Today's movie review is gonna be Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 2017. So I just saw it like an hour ago, and let's get right into it. So this review is really not gonna be spoiler heavy. I'm just gonna go over some things that I liked and some things that I didn't like about the film, and let's just get right into it. So there's gonna be minor spoilers here and there, so you have been warned. So let's just address the elephant in the room. This movie is not going to win any Oscars anytime soon. But for those people that are trashing the movie because of the overacting and the flat line deliveries, mostly by the Black Ranger, what are you really expecting when you went into this movie? It's a Power Ranger movie. This isn't Goodfellas. It's not The Godfather. This isn't Manchester by the Sea. It's a Power Rangers film. So yeah, I don't understand why people are being overly critical on this film. There is also not a lot of character development because this movie actually just doesn't need it. This movie is more like a sci-fi action thriller. So it's more in the veins of The Matrix meets Chronicle meets the lighthearted nature and sense of humor of Guardians of the Galaxy. For me, this is a pretty solid film. There's really not a lot that you can actually pick out of this movie. There are a few things here and there, but it doesn't diminish your enjoyment of the movie at all. This movie is what it is. It's just a good time at the movies. And I also see it as an opportunity to bridge the gap between us millennials and what people are now calling Generation Z now. So I went with my little niece to go watch.
Y'all already know it's morphin' time.
Morphin' time.
It's morphin' time, bitches. Nina, Janet, what time it is?
It's morphin' time.
In some scenes, we were both laughing from ear to ear. Some of the scenes in this movie are just hysterical. When the movie's done, you'll just find out that you really had a good time at the movies. We were both there just enjoying ourselves watching the movie. The director of this movie really knows how to build up suspense in the film, because in some scenes I was actually gripping the seat and I was like, come on, you guys can do it, get in there, just go pop, pop, go in there. So you find yourself reverting back to a kid while watching this movie. It's fantastic. Those of us that actually grew up watching the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, there's a little treat there for you guys. I'm not going to give it away completely, but there are two cameos almost at the tail end of the movie. And as soon as you see who these two people are, you're going to recognize them immediately. So that was an awesome little treat, a little Easter egg for us OG fans. There's two things that I really didn't like about this movie. There is an overabundance of product placement in this movie, mainly by Krispy Kreme. I must have heard Krispy Kreme, must have heard Rita, the Rangers, Alpha, Zordon, everybody and their mom mentioned Krispy Kreme at least 10 times each in this movie. It was really jarring to hear. You know, some movies do a really great job of not having blatant product placement like right in your face, but Power Rangers really failed at this one. It was Krispy Kreme this, Krispy Kreme that. We got to get to the Megazords, but we got to get some Krispy Kremes first. I was like, dude, all right, we get it. Krispy Kreme is sponsoring your movie, sure, okay, let it go. And the other thing, that there was no Bulk and Skull in the movie. There was a high school bully in the film, but he isn't even worth remembering. Just terrible performance by that guy, and he just wasn't really instrumental at all, and he was very forgetful. So there was a school bully, just not Bulk and Skull. I think Elizabeth Banks did great as Rita. The one thing I could have done without was her golden tooth or gold rimmed tooth or whatever that was. Yeah, there was really no need for that. We know you're obsessed with gold because you're trying to build up Goldar again, but that was just a tiny bit too far. Bryan Cranston played Zordon in the film, and Bryan Cranston always delivers a brilliant performance. Like, he's just a floating head, but the way he delivers his line is like, whoa, they just get to you. Bryan Cranston is such an amazing actor. I want him to be in so many more films. We were really gypped when that Godzilla movie came out. Oh man, that trailer really sold us on Bryan Cranston being the star of the show, and he was in the movie for like 5 minutes. So yeah, definitely want to see more of Bryan Cranston in the future. I want to see him in more films and more TV shows. Definitely masterful performance like always. Gets to Alpha 5, the little pervy robot. So yeah, Alpha 5 in this movie is just hysterical. So as soon as you guys see the movie, it's a lighthearted tone. You're gonna really get into it. The Ranger cast, you guys can definitely tell that they're definitely new actors because there is some overacting and there is some very flat line delivery and very flat dialogue within the movie itself, but it doesn't take away from your enjoyment of the movie as well. So yeah, to the untrained eye, if you're not actually looking for it, and it's just me because I automatically look for it, you won't even notice that. And one thing for me is that they definitely miscast the Red Ranger. What I mean by that is that the Blue Ranger actually stole the show. He stole the movie. The movie, he pretty much carried it the entire time. He was definitely the leader in this movie. So if you're thinking that the Red Ranger is the leader in this movie, even though he is dubbed the Red Ranger, we all know that the Red is supposed to be leader. Blue Ranger definitely gave the best performance in this film, and I definitely do think that they miscast him. Blue Ranger should have been Red Ranger. Billy just came off as more of a leader than Jason in the entire film. So yeah, definitely look out for that. You'll definitely, once you go see the movie, you'll definitely see that Billy steals the show, or the Blue Ranger steals the show. I would be remiss if I didn't mention this, but Red Ranger or Jason actually looks like the original Blue Ranger. I'm going to put a picture up here so you guys can take a look at it. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but these guys really look alike. It's pretty much like almost identical. These guys are like eerily similar. Now they do leave the door open for a sequel movie, and we are going to get one because it's tracking to make a lot of money, and I really hope that we do get another one. Really enjoyed myself, or had this much fun in the movie theater in a long time. This was really great. It feels like I'm watching Guardians of the Galaxy, just subpar acting, and the graphics, the visual effects weren't that great, but hey man, it's still a great time at the movies, and isn't that what we all go for? And they were talking about the Zeo crystals the entire movie. I really do think if you guys are like me and you saw the season after Mighty Morphin, which was the Zeo Rangers, it wasn't Mighty Morphin Power Rangers anymore. It had shifted. Let's say season 2. Season 1 was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and then season 2 was the Zeo Rangers. So I definitely do think that's where the cinematic universe is going now. I think it's gonna shift into the Zeo Ranger now. So what I think might happen is that the Rangers might lose their Mighty Morphin powers, and they're gonna be exposed to the Zeo crystals, and they're gonna get their Zeo Ranger powers. So we're gonna probably get a new command center, new Ranger suits, and also new Zords. So since we're mentioning Zeo, I do hope that they bring in my favorite Ranger of all time. Well, I guess my secondary favorite Ranger. My secondary favorite Ranger is the Zeo Gold Ranger. He was just amazing. He was just so different from the other Rangers. His Zord was so different from everybody else's. So was his suit. It was the return of Jason, the original leader of the Power Rangers. So I definitely hope that they go that route in the second or the third movie and introduce us to the Gold Zeo Ranger. Also, at the end of the movie, there is a mid-credit scene. So there is no after-credit scene. So as soon as the credits roll, the official credits, the black and white screen, it's safe to leave the movie theater. So there is a mid-credit scene. That mid-credit scene has to pretty much do with the 6th Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. You guys already know who that is. If you guys don't know, I'm not gonna spoil it, but if you saw the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, you know who I'm talking about. Yeah, that guy. If I was gonna give this movie an overall score, like I said, it's not perfect. It has its moments. Definitely has its moments of levity and humor in it, and it's just a good time at the movie theater. So I wouldn't really go with the Rotten Tomatoes score or the IMDb score this time. I would definitely go check it out for yourself. It's just a good time at the movie theaters. So if I were to give it an overall score, I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. So one more thing, there's actually, if you go back and you look at the trailers, there's a very small scene. I don't even think it affects the story whatsoever. It's probably going to be like in the director's cut. But in the trailer, there's this one scene where I'm assuming that's the Black Ranger, and he's doing some sort of flip on top of a train. That scene isn't in the movie at all. But like I said, we might probably get that in the director's cut of the movie or the Blu-ray. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I had a great time. Guys, definitely go see this movie. It's great. It's a good time. bring the kids, but just make sure they're old enough, just because they do drop a couple of curse words here and there. They'll probably be okay. But yeah, good movie. I want to know what you guys thought about this movie. If you saw it already, let me know in the comment section below. I also want to know, who is your favorite Ranger, and are you guys thinking like me? Do you guys think it's going to go Mighty Morphin Power Rangers are going to shift into the Zeo era now? So I definitely want to see the Zeo era. That's going to be so cool. So if you guys liked anything you heard here today, please remember to comment, like, and subscribe, and share. It'll really help me out, and I would greatly appreciate it. So until next time, guys, my name is Julian, Jersey Boy Reviews. What a great movie!
I will fulfill our destiny. Nothing will stand in our way. I will finish what you started. I'll show them the power of the darkness.